A new national poll released this morning shows that nearly 70% of Canadians do believe that systemic racism exists in this country. However, only a small fraction of that number appear to be able to recognize the bias that's happening in their own backyard. The poll, conducted by Dart and Meru Blue, was done this week in the wake of George Floyd's death and the anti-racism protests that have followed in the U.S. and across Canada. It found 69% of Canadians believe prejudice against visible minorities exists, and only 30% think race relations have improved over the last decade. But only 3 in 10 Canadians feel that prejudice exists in their own communities and local police departments.
Effectively, what we have are 30 million adults across this country. And of the 30 million, you'd find 21 million who don't see racism. They don't see the prejudice, but you'd see 9 million who actually do. Those people who tend to see it tend to be younger, tend to be more educated, tend to actually have more income. Those who don't see it as much, a lot of it has to do with age. You're older. You don't have as much education.
Even with the controversial ban on religious symbols, including hijabs, in public sector workplaces, Quebecers believe their province has the best race relations in the country.
People in Quebec, despite the fact that we've seen over the last number of years probably the greatest measure of prejudice, where in fact we've seen visible minorities made to change, where they haven't been allowed into their society. That's probably the biggest surprise I had out of it, is how demonstrative they feel that everything is okay in their province.
Albertans and residents of Saskatchewan and Manitoba have placed themselves at the bottom of the provincial breakdown, admitting more needs to be done for minority communities.
They recognize that there are problems, particularly in Manitoba and Saskatchewan, where it comes with the police, and you can see that with respect to Indigenous populations.
Tammie Sutherland, City News.